I think we all know that plastic takes 20 to 1,000 years to decompose. This is a big issue because there's plastic in everything that we buy, whether it's vegetables wrapped in plastic, an Amazon shipment with plastic wrapping. Mountains of trash pile up all the time and still plastic is being produced. So many of the items that you throw away are not decomposable, or if they are, it's going to take hundreds of years to decompose. I feel like a lot of younger generations are really aware of the fact that climate change is real and that the earth is just getting hotter and hotter. There are organizations that have swapped to more recyclable materials with their products, but it's not as many as you think. But I am not here to make a sad video. There might be partial solutions in the future. And if you clicked on this video, it's probably because you think mushrooms are the solution. And they might be. Recent discoveries found out that certain types of mushrooms actually use plastic as their nutrition and decompose it. This is significantly a better solution to decomposing a plastic material for a decade. So I'm curious to see what types of mushrooms these actually are and what organizations are actually picking up these methods. Hi, my name is Holly. I make mushroom art with the brand Susrooms, and if you're new to this channel, I like everything all to do with mushrooms, and if you do too, you can go ahead and subscribe. I post videos every single week about mushrooms. So let's talk about the mushrooms that eat plastic. There is a mushroom called Pestolophius microscophora, which is a rare fungi found in the Amazon. Not the Amazon that you buy, the Amazon rainforest. I think we all know that. This type of mushroom can survive in deep, deep piles of trash, unlike any other mushroom that we've ever talked about here on this channel, but also ever seen in existence. This mushroom can build its entire mycelium, which is the heart of the mushroom, down into these plastic piles and actually create an ecosystem. But this isn't the only type of mushroom that eats plastic. And you might even have heard of this mushroom. I covered a cousin of its kind, the oyster mushroom. It's definitely known for its culinary use all over the world, but this mushroom can actually break down a lot of plastic materials. Its cousin, the pink oyster, which I talked about on this channel, also does very similar things. This mushroom is really great at breaking down materials fast and using it as its energy source. It can break down plastics like grocery bags and materials that generally take centuries or decades to decompose on their own. This mushroom eats it up, pretty much. The mycelium of the oyster mushroom works hard to chew away at the plastic and turn it into nutrients. It really is just like magic. That's so crazy. There is another mushroom out there that breaks down plastic. This one is called Aspergillus tubergensis. Hopefully I said that right. This mushroom was discovered in a Pakistani landfill, and this mushroom breaks down plastic. This mushroom will definitely colonize under the ground and under these landfill piles to eat away at the plastic within the landfill. The secret to why and how these mushrooms actually eat plastic definitely lies in its genetic makeup. Unlike bacteria that can only nibble at a small section of plastic, the mushroom's mycelium will actually penetrate through a lot of these plastics and use it as fuel. So instead of the mushroom taking little nibbles of it, it will actually create its own network. Think of it like roots under the surface to use that as fuel. This mushroom differs from the cyprobic, mycorrhizal, or even parasitic mushrooms. They all sort of digest nutrients the same way. They create a whole ecosystem under the ground with all of their little roots, and when the time is right, they will actually sprout up and create mushrooms like this that are the fruiting bodies. Although it definitely seems like magic that these mushrooms have taken on plastic, I think it is a really cool endeavor, and I hope that we see a lot more in the future, especially decomposing landfills. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, big plastic. Making and manufacturing so many products, keeping them stored safe, Plastic isn't all bad, it just doesn't really decompose well. There's a lot of alternatives in the world that we're seeing pop up, but it's not anything like what needs to happen. Whether you're ordering food, ordering something online, or getting something at a store, it's probably going to be encased in plastic. My biggest question was, how can we ever see progress if we have these big companies that are big plastic sort of running the show? Because at the end of the day, a lot of companies look at profits, and if it's not profitable to them, they're probably not going to do it. One of the longest decomposable things in the world is styrofoam. So many things are made out of it, and I always think of styrofoam as those styrofoam cups, but it's also used in a tremendous amount of packaging. Although it really helps for a package to get somewhere safely, the decomposing factor is really negative. It takes forever for this stuff to actually decompose. Actually, scientists are using mycelium to actually create packaging in and of itself. This could be a game changer if we start to see mycelium being implemented as packages instead of styrofoam. Because you can actually train a mushroom to grow in a certain pattern, you can make packages that are very much decomposable. This would be great to see in future years for sure. I did find a couple of companies that are doing this now. Companies like Ecovactive, mushroompackaging.com, GrowBio, and more have implemented this custom mushroom packaging as their entire brand. And I think that this is amazing. I would definitely like to purchase some of this myself or even grow it. That would be so cool. So back to big plastic. It's definitely a ginormous industry. The influx of plastic is truly killing our planet, and I really want to see some changes. The earth is definitely heating up year by year, and places that could grow coffee beans, make wine, or do certain things in certain places of the world are starting to be no more due to the influx of heat. Although there are a lot of other factors, not just plastic, like boats, airplanes, cars that release emissions, and of course trash. I feel like plastic is a very big contributor to climate change. So if there could be a solution for how we decompose this trash, implementing mushrooms as the decomposers, I feel like that would be a very big benefit for our earth. Although mushrooms can't eat plastic in a lab, it is really just taking that sort of idea and moving it into a landfill. The problem is that mushrooms require a certain type of moisture, a certain type of ecosystem for them to actually decompose correctly. Even temperature plays a big role into decomposing. And some plastics are really tough and they need some sort of pre-treatment to weaken the plastic so that the fungi can actually eat it. So although it seems like a great idea and I think we're moving towards that eventually, it's still kind of being figured out right now. But the theory is there. It's real. Mushrooms can actually eat plastic. But in landfills that are not temperature controlled, moisture controlled, it is kind of difficult to guarantee that mushrooms will take. While the idea of plastic eating mushrooms seems a little bit science fiction, there are some companies that are not only creating packaging out of mushrooms, but they're actually helping implement mushrooms into decomposing. Starting in the United States, there is a company called Mesocycle. This company is the most active in the field of mycormediation. This company is working with strains of fungi to actually decompose a lot of materials used in home construction. Specifically, they are focused on asphalt, drywall, and shingles. This is exciting, and I really hope to see more progress with this as I will be following it myself. And then as far as actual companies working with landfills and mushrooms, this company is called Sporadicate. That's so cute. They teamed up with the city of Ponticello and Idaho State University in 2024 to launch this pilot sort of startup. This is one of the first instances of a municipal landfill actually being used for research, for fungi to assist with the decomposing process. And then there is the Ocean Blue Project. They are in collaboration with NASA, some of us, to create marine fungi. I personally had never heard of marine fungi until I learned about this, and I'm really curious to learn more and more about what species of fungi actually thrive in water. They have identified fungal strains that are located along the Oregon coast that have naturally adapted to eat plastic debris. This is in freshwater and marine environments. They have experimented with mycofiber burlap sacks encapsulated with mycelium. They have placed these in streams to filter out toxins before ever reaching the ocean. So exciting! There are some organizations that are not just focused on the mushroom itself, but the enzymes that actually are in those mushrooms that eat plastic. This is the company Bottle Consortium. It is a French company, and they have made their way to filter out PET plastics, which are usually found in soda bottles. They've been using these enzymes to break down plastic instead of just using mushrooms. This allows for infinite recycling, where a soda bottle can be replaced and used again in infinite recycling. Lastly, mushrooms are being used for insulating houses. In Biome, London, UK, they are using mycelium to grow insulation material for houses. Insulation is one of those things that is very poorly decomposable, to say the least. It is really cool to see so many things coming from mushrooms, and I am just so excited for our future. I wholeheartedly believe that it is our Earth and we should protect it and preserve it. The world has gotten so much bigger, and the usage of plastic has just been a part of the big system. Although currently big plastic is a big part of our world, maybe eventually we will see some mushrooms being more implemented and it being more of a public thing. That is all for now. If you want to stay connected with me, you can subscribe, follow me on my socials, or visit my website, susrooms.com. And I also make mushroom trading cards if you're interested in joining my Patreon. You can always join for free to see what I'm up to. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about mushrooms eating plastic. Is it weird? Is it cool? What do you think is going to happen in the future? Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.